Welcome. You have just crossed the threshold into something different, something hidden in plain sight. Most people see proposals as paperwork. They see compliance checkboxes, formatting guidelines, and deadline anxiety. But here at NeuralForge LLC, we see something else entirely. We see a battlefield of ideas, a chess match where the difference between winning and losing is not just what you say, but how you say it, when you say it, and whether anyone believes you mean it. This is not another video about how to write better proposals. This is an invitation to rethink what a proposal can be when you forge it with intelligence, precision, and a touch of the unexpected. My name is Dr. Carminati. Welcome to the Proposal Factory. The mystery. Here is the secret that nobody talks about. The most successful proposals in the world do not win because of perfect formatting. They do not win because of the lowest price. They win because somewhere in those pages, the evaluator found a moment of truth, a sentence that made them pause, lean forward, and think, "This team understands me." That moment is not an accident. It is engineered. It is the result of a deliberate, structured, almost surgical process that most organizations never learn, and even fewer ever master. The innovation. NeuralForge LLC and the Proposal Factory. NeuralForge LLC exists at the intersection of two worlds that rarely speak to each other: high-stakes procurement and artificial intelligence. We do not use generic large language models, LLMs, or off-the-shelf chatbot tools. That approach produces generic results, and generic results lose bids. Instead, we built the Proposal Factory, a proprietary AI-augmented system that fuses customized neural networks with deep human expertise. Dr. Carminati, our founder, infused this system with decades of cybersecurity, management, and AI insight. The result is not an automation tool, it is an intelligence amplifier. Here is how the Proposal Factory thinks differently. First, we focus on the what and the why. Most proposal teams drown in the how, the formatting instructions, the page limits, the font size requirements. These details matter, but they do not win contracts. Winning requires strategic clarity. Why does this client exist? Why does this opportunity matter right now? What does success look like in the evaluator's mind? We answer those questions before we write a single word. Second, we use multi-agent orchestration. Our system does not generate a proposal in one pass. We deploy a team of specialized agents, a hunter for market intelligence, a red team for technical depth, an auditor for compliance verification, an analyst for pricing strategy. These agents critique each other's work. They challenge assumptions. They identify weaknesses before any human reads the document. This adversarial process produces proposals that are not just compliant, they are hardened against scrutiny. Third, we enforce silence-based security. Every client operates in a sealed compartment. Information from one engagement never crosses into another. We do not reuse pricing data, technical solutions, or strategic narratives across clients without fresh validation. In an era where data leakage can destroy trust, we treat each bid as a unique, air-gapped event. This approach is not common. That is the point. Compliance frameworks. Compliance is not the enemy. Incompetent compliance is. Every solicitation comes with a framework, a set of rules that define what acceptable looks like. Most organizations treat these rules as obstacles. We treat them as architecture. The proposal factory supports the following frameworks with precision, not approximation. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST Special Publication, SP 800-53, the backbone of federal cybersecurity. We map every control to specific technical language, not generic platitudes. If a solicitation requires access control or audit logging, we show exactly how we implement it, down to the configuration level. NIST SP 800-207 Zero Trust Architecture. The old perimeter-based security model is dead. We write proposals that prove your organization does not trust any user or device by default, even inside the network. This is non-negotiable for modern federal bids. Federal Information Security Modernization Act, FISMA. The legal framework that ties security to funding. We demonstrate continuous monitoring, risk assessment, and system authorization in language that satisfies both technical reviewers and legal auditors. Health Insurance, Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, Security and Privacy Rules for organizations handling protected health information. We address administrative, physical, and technical safeguards with specific implementation references, not vague policy statements. Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard PCI DSS v4.0, the latest version with enhanced requirements for multi-factor authentication and third-party security. We show compliance with every requirement category. International Organization for Standardization, ISO 27001-2022, the international standard for Information Security Management Systems, ISMS. We demonstrate the Plan, Do, Check, Act, PDCA cycle, and Annex A controls in context. System and Organization Controls, SOC. 2 Type 2. For service organizations that need to prove they handle data securely over time. We write to the Trust Services criteria: security, availability, processing integrity, confidentiality, and privacy. General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, for organizations operating in or serving the European Union. We address data subject rights, breach notification, and cross-border data transfer mechanisms. Center for Internet Security, CIS Controls V8, the prioritized, practical set of actions for cyber defense. We map each control to implementation guidance, making the path from assessment to compliance visible. Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, FERPA, and Internal Revenue Service, IIRS, Publication 175, for educational institutions and tax information handlers. We address the specific data protection requirements these agencies mandate. Uniform Guidance 2 Code of Federal Regulations, CFR 200, for non-profit organizations receiving federal grants. We address internal controls, allowable costs, and procurement standards in language that auditors recognize. We do not treat these frameworks as checklists. We treat them as design specifications. Each one shapes the narrative, the proof points, and the technical depth of every proposal we generate. The mystery returns. Here is something that keeps me awake at night, and I think it should keep you awake too. Most organizations prepare proposals the same way they did 20 years ago. They gather a team, assign sections, share a Word document, and pray the compliance matrix catches everything before the deadline. They lose because their competitors use the same process, And in a field where everyone follows the same rules, the winner is determined by luck, not strategy. But what if you could see the hidden structure beneath every solicitation? What if you could predict which evaluation criteria carry the most weight before you write a single page? What if your proposal arrived already hardened against the 3 most common reasons evaluators reject submissions? This is not theory. This is what the proposal factory does every day. The mystery is not whether artificial intelligence can write a proposal. It can. Anyone can do that now. The mystery is whether artificial intelligence can write a proposal that wins, and that depends entirely on the intelligence, the structure, and the strategic thinking embedded in the system. We did not build a writing tool. We built a strategy engine, engagement, and call to action. But here is the thing. We do not have all the answers, and we do not pretend otherwise. The compliance landscape shifts every year. New frameworks emerge. Old ones get revised. Attack vectors evolve. And the most dangerous position in any industry is believing you have reached the final destination. That is where you come in. We want to hear from you. What compliance frameworks do you struggle with? What part of the proposal process keeps you up at night? Have you encountered a solicitation requirement that felt impossible to interpret? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one, and your questions shape the videos we create next. If you found something valuable in this narrative, share it with someone who needs to hear it. A colleague, a competitor, a student who just discovered that proposal writing is not a clerical task. It is a strategic discipline. Subscribe to this channel if you want to go deeper. We produce content on proposal strategy, compliance frameworks, artificial intelligence ethics in procurement, and the hidden patterns that separate winning bids from losing ones. Every video pulls back another layer. And if you want to work with us directly, visit NeuralForge LLC.net. The path from here to a winning proposal is shorter than you think. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you for caring enough about excellence to spend time here. The Proposal Factory is open. What we build next depends on what you ask for. So ask.